This is the part that ended my racing season 2026 early. It costs less than 20 euros and it wrecked my whole car. After the last two videos, you guys had a lot of questions. Some empathic, some serious, some technical, one or two, none of the above. So today I'm answering them. What really caused this crash, whether and how soon the car comes back, and also something that I probably shouldn't admit on camera. Welcome to YART Racing, where we race, break, fix and repeat. Did the crash hurt or have I been injured? The short answer is no. I have no trauma, no headache and not even a single little bruise. After the crash, I was brought to the medical center at Circuit Zandvoort, what is kind of a standard procedure on a Formula 1 track, and they checked everything, blood pressure, heart rate, I don't know, and even they said that everything is alright, and after maybe 15 minutes or so, I was allowed to leave the medical center. And also in the aftermath of the crash, the next few days and weeks, I didn't have flashbacks or nightmares or something like this. What exactly caused the crash? Was it brake bias? No. The brake bias was almost certainly not the cause for the crash. The driver who was behind me at that moment confirmed that very quickly after I started the braking process, smoke began to come out of my left rear wheel arch. So it seems that the wheel was already locking up in this moment, and shortly after that the car turned right, heading into the barrier. I could see from the GPS data that I was reducing my speed in a straight line from 160 roundabout to 120 kph, and with around 120 I was turning right, lost control, and with 74 kph I was hitting the barrier. But this was just a sequence of events and not the root cause of the problem. The crash was caused by a rose joint or uniball joint that collapsed. Most probably it was the outside joint of the upper wishbone of the left rear suspension. After that joint broke, it sent me spinning, and the rest of the damage was caused by the impact into the barrier. Do I plan to repair the car? Will I race it again? And what's the time frame? Yes. It was not an option to not repair the car. I inherited this car from my father, and I feel it's impossible for me to leave it broken. Especially since my parents bought this car in 2009 from a huge chunk of their savings. So it was never an option, because it feels like I have the responsibility to show my mom that I fixed the car that she also bought from her savings that I broke. I hope that makes some sense. And I will also bring the car back to the racetrack. My target is to make this Lotus Europa better than ever before. So I try to see this huge setback in my project as the chance to be turned into an opportunity. And the time frame for that rebuild is roughly in the ballpark of 6 months. Maybe it's 5, maybe it's 8, I don't know, but the target is definitely to be back on track in 2027. Doesn't really matter if it's season beginning or end of the season, but I want to race again in 2027. Did I have insurance for the accident? No. Frankly speaking, this would be much too expensive for a cheap car like a Lotus Europa. I would have to totally wreck the car every weekend to make sense of a racing insurance. The premiums and deductible are simply too high. Because of that, it can make sense to insure your racing car if it's very expensive, for example, a Ferrari or maybe a Porsche or something like that. Or if you share the racing seat of your car with another driver. And if this guy crashes it, the insurance pays most of the cost for the repair. But for me, it's cheaper to drive without insurance and fix the car myself with the money I saved. What's the price for the car as it sits after the accident? I found that comment incredibly rude. It was posted by somebody under my Facebook post that shared information about the crash to my followers, already stating that I'm looking for replacement parts and spare parts to repair the accident damage. So from my point of view, this is not the right moment to try and bargain with me in that situation, because I already told everyone that I'm planning on repairing the car. So what is the intention behind such a comment? Should I maybe take it as a compliment that somebody wants to have my car because it's, I don't know, beautiful or fast or something, I don't really know? Or is it meant as an insult? I don't really know. I can't deal with that kind of comment very well. Did I ever try to smile? I had to take this one on the chin because I'm aware that I am not the smiliest of persons, but to be honest, making videos and presenting my face to the camera isn't really my passion itself. My passion is motorsport and improving the car. And I also like to share this journey with an interested audience. If my first video that I made back in November 2025 would have received something like 700 views, or I don't know, I would have stopped sharing these videos after 1 or 2, maybe 3. But it seems that there are some people outside who enjoy them. And to be able to keep the videos coming, I sometimes have to film myself because I don't have enough footage to fill all the videos that I'm producing with other material, such as track shots, action shots, I don't know what kind of shots. And I find it a little bit boring to just put onboard footage in it and put a voiceover over that because it doesn't really show very much. So I'm not speaking to the camera because I want to be seen. It's quite the opposite. I'm an introvert. I love sharing this passion and not so much being the center of attention. But I try to get better at this and also maybe even smile once in a while.